Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Robert Welkner here with another CoinOpTV Live. We're going to do a movie review of Pete's Dragon from Disney, the 2016 live action version that just came out officially today, I guess, in the US. And I got my buddy Dan, aka Disney Dan, is going to join me.
What's up, guys? We're here with Rob, the one and only CoinOpTV. This is where all the magic happens on YouTube, folks, right here. If you're not watching his live streams every day, you're missing out.
Listen, they already got the pre-roll commercial. No need to, to set it up there. So let me get the first image up here. Let's talk. We're gonna talk some Pete's Dragon. So Pete's Dragon is the live action adaptation of sort of the semi-animated film there from back in the day, 2016, from Disney, starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Robert Redford, Oaks Fegley, Wes Bentley, Karl Urban, and also Oona Laurence. Laurence, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Laurence. Yes, kind of a spelling there. So there's a little look at the movie poster. Now, just forewarning, I put in the parentheses possible spoilers. I did a little Twitter poll asking, hey, do you guys want to see some spoilers or not? And it was close. It wasn't a landslide. So it was like 52 one way, 48 another way. So possible spoilers, you've been warned. We are live and we are streaming. Let me give some quick shout outs to Steve, Toy Movie Game Bros, Theo, of course, Disney Dan is in chat as well, Lewis, Daniel Grant, the legendary Dom, and a handful of others. I usually live stream at 12 p.m. Pacific Coast time. When I can, it's summertime, so I'm kind of slowing a little bit back because things are a little crazy. All right, so there's all the disclaimers. Did I miss anything
Rob,
on the disclaimers?
Do people, fans of yours, if they're like, Rob, we want an episode where you talk about this, can they tweet you? Or can they hop on your Facebook page and say, hey, Rob, can you do a live podcast about this cool thing? Do you take requests from the community?
You could tweet, you leave comments. Yeah, I read and observe what people want. If it's
Rob is the king of YouTube comments. Yeah, I bow down to you in all of your splendor and glory when it comes to just surfing the web, responding to all your fans on your YouTube page, and then also commenting. It makes me feel you make me feel so bad about myself because you're always commenting on my videos, and I'm normally watching your videos and all my other YouTube subscriptions on my phone in the corner of my desk. I'm not commenting on anything, but you're the master, Rob. You're the man.
I'm an aggressive social media person, favorite comment. And hopefully all you guys watching, I see Chloe just jumped in here and said hi as well. Hopefully you guys will do the same, reciprocate as well. So let me get back to the images here. So we got Pete's Dragon. Again, semi-spoilers, who knows? But it's a new live action, got a lot of CGI with a big old green fluffy dragon named Elliott and Pete.
Yeah. And can we talk about the fluffy dragon for a second?
Yes.
Can we start off the discussion with the fluffy dragon?
Sure. Let's talk about Elliott, the fluffy dragon.
How do you feel about Elliott, man? What's your take on him?
Well, I'm a big fan of dragons. I like Game of Thrones. I like Dragon Slayer. I like movies and fantasy with dragons. And it's a tricky thing because I want my dragons to be fierce and tough and to fly and to go kind of crazy with things. And Elliott, this dragon, not quite that caliber of a dragon, more of a puppy dog with some wings.
A dog with wings. Dog with wings is what it was. A giant dog. He was essentially Clifford the Big Green Dog with wings is what Elliott was. But I don't think that that's a bad thing, particularly for a movie that's geared towards the audience that it's geared towards. It's a family flick. Could you imagine if it was some smog looking, Reign of Fire, Game of Thrones looking dragon, and he needed to be warm, he needed to be cuddly, he needed to be that companion, that best friend. And I don't think a scaly dinosaur-y looking dragon would have done that.
Yeah, as a Disney movie and a family-friendly movie, I don't know if I want a threatening dragon. I was I was okay with Elliott. I mean, for the most part, the thing that I didn't like was that he was very clumsy. I think that was the thing that a little bothered me a little bit. I mean, if you can fly and you're huge and you can knock over trees and buildings, you should probably have a little swagger in your step, so to say, you know. And Elliott, unfortunately, just seemed a little clumsy. I think that made him a little on the goofy side for me.
Yeah, well, I think that the movie had a bunch of interesting themes to it, but I think that one of the themes was definitely maturing as you know, gently maturing as a child. And I think that despite the fact that Elliott was however old as he was, I think that he was still a child in terms of dragon years. And then he kind of like paralleled Pete. They were kind of like two kids stuck in the woods together. So you know, the clumsy thing, my daughter laughed every time he fell over or did something silly. It really, she was just entranced by Elliott and all the fun stuff he did. So, you know, I can't complain too much about the clumsy dragon because he really warmed the hearts of all the children in the audience when I saw it last night.
Warm the hearts. We should sort of give we kind of jumped into talking about the dragon, but we should give a little bit of a impression of sort of, you know, the overview of the movie for those unfamiliar and our impressions of the film. So Pete's Dragon is the story of a boy and his dragon. The boy is living in the boy is Pete living in sort of the forest, and the dragon Elliott is taking care of him. I had seen the original way back in the day. It's been a long time. I don't really remember it at all, but I did find it fun and entertaining. Maybe overall, I'd say it was a little on the average side or something. What is where are you at, Dan? Did you ever see the original, and what was your
yeah, of course,
new one?
The original back from 1977 is when that bad boy came out, which was pretty great, and it was pretty revolutionary in that it was, you know, that animation and live action mixed together, and I think it did some really cool things for the time, and I think that the movie did everything I wanted it to do. And I tried to intentionally like avoid the trailers. I didn't want to know what kind of spin they were going to be putting on it. I knew what the dragon was going to look like before I went in, but otherwise I kind of kept my my head down when it came to like the previews and whatnot. And I thought that it was almost a perfect movie for families. I thought it was almost a perfect family movie. I didn't have a ton of complaints about it, and I thought that it was just also just wonderfully timeless, and I don't know how to the best describe that, but that movie can, when you watch the first Pete's Dragon, you're like, yeah, this is definitely a movie that was in the 70s. It's set in the 70s. It's the 70s, 70s, 70s. But this movie, there was no use of technology. There was nothing that really particularly dates the movie. It was about families and lumberjacks and, you know, and the woods. So I thought it was really cool that they managed to kind of make this timeless kind of classic that I think will do very well for many years.
Yeah, it had it wasn't really put in a bubble as far as the time. It sort of seemed like maybe the late 70s or something like that. No cell phones. People are all listening to sort of hippie mellow guitar rock when they're driving around or when there's a montage. It's in kind of a small town where a lot of people believe, you know, that there potentially is a dragon out there because of Robert Redford's character kind of, you know, talking about it in story and lore. We'll talk a little bit about some of the characters. Actually, let's get to some of the cast because, you know, we talked about the dragon. Now we've got, I guess, newcomer Oaks Fegley here playing, of course.
He's been in a few things such as like Boardwalk Empire on HBO, and he's had a few credits prior to this.
Yeah, so as a young actor, he's making a name for himself, and this is probably his big starring role here. Speaks the English well, and can also interact with the dragon pretty well. Kind of bilingual, right?
yeah, and I actually know him. I've worked with him before. I've done some theater with him locally here, and he's from my hometown, and so he kind of grew up. Around his family grew up around me in the theater, so he's a really, really great kid, very, very humble, very, very down to earth, and just a really wonderful family too. So it's a really, really cool. Just it was great to see him up there because I thought he did very, very well in the film. There were no moments that I can recall where I was just like, oh boy, that's a little much in terms of like overacting or anything like that. I thought he kind of nailed it pretty well.
Yeah, all the human, the live action characters were all pretty great. A couple times there was maybe some like, hey, we're acting to CGI, so maybe that would be a little awkward, looking at the wrong place or reacting. But that's just going to be difficult, for adults as well as youth friendly actors. Let's see in the chat there. Toy Movie Game Bro says, I thought he was great in the movie. So he's I think the live action cast was all really great there. So hopefully you get to hang out with him, post movie and give your reaction or something.
Chat with him. You got it. Yeah. It was the live action cast. Well, I mean, we're going to go through it. I'm sure you've got other pictures and stuff. So let's hop to the next one. Who do we got next?
I got a little snuggly.
Yeah.
There.
See, could you imagine that shot with a scaly, cold, lizardy dragon? It wouldn't have looked cool. It wouldn't have looked like he was being protected. It would have looked like he was about to be eaten. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but that sort of adds a little depth to things because if with this movie here, Elliott was such a pushover, there was no chance that he was going to do harm to anybody. So if he was kind of crazy, you'd have a little bit of that depth, where it's like, well, like he could easily just chomp off Pete's head.
He was passive for most of the movie, but then he kind of towards the end of the movie he got a little loose there and started tearing it up. So
yeah, and the CGI was great. I mean, Disney is their production. They're doing great with the way things look. Did we ever find out why he has this shot here? We got the broken bottom tooth there. Did they ever explain kind of any of that? Was it the origin was like very slight on a lot of the characters and stuff?
Yeah, no, there was not that I can recall. I found myself thinking that once while watching the movie, but I was like, no, I don't think they mentioned it. I think it's just, I think he might have lost a tooth long before, we ever met him.
I see a Bull Smith in chat says, Rob's not looking at chat. So there you go, Bull Smith. All right, let's go on to the next photo here. So we got one of the stars there, Bryce Dallas Howard. She plays the Grace in the movie. She's I kind of leaned over and sort of said, oh, hey, this is like Jurassic World again. She's going to talk to like a big giant green, monster dinosaur, something like that. That was kind of like my little joke to my friend that I saw that. So, standard acting. She said has that motherly sort of like, hey,
yeah,
I'm one with the woods. There's a lot of.
If you read a lot of interviews with her, she was like chasing after this movie for years. She wanted this movie to be made. She's a massive Pete's Dragon fan, so I thought it was kind of cool to know that about her. And she tugged at your heartstrings a little bit, right? She wet a few eyes by the end of the movie, at least in the theater when I saw it.
Yeah, it was interesting. So she's got sort of her little family. Everybody sort of gets along, but she meets old Pete, who's just charming, and she's like, "Hey, come on in, be part of our family." And she got the little husband and the daughter and everything. The thing is, everything is so quaint and sweet, and it's sort of working out fine that I was just like, "Oh, okay, well, of course that there's going to be a happy ending here and stuff like that." I don't know. I kind of wish that maybe, I feel like maybe I'm a little on the morbid side, but Disney's been doing a lot of heavy, like, somebody dies, right in the movie and there's like pain. And then, well, I guess there is some of that, I'm sort of, there is some deaths, shall we say.
Yeah. Well, I think that, at the same, but I like that there wasn't any super dramatic nonsense. You know what I mean? There was suspense, but those lumberjack guys, man, they rubbed me the wrong way. And Karl Urban in particular, I'm sure we're going to get to him eventually. So maybe I'll save my opinions about Karl Urban until we get to the to him.
No, I don't have a picture of Karl Urban, but
okay.
You can talk about him now.
Yeah, and I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the writing of it. You know what I mean? But like he's like the bad guy the whole movie, and then next thing you know, he's on that bridge after everything happened, and he just kind of like did the turn and the smile, and he's like, yeah, I'm a better person now. Like, oh, it was so cliche. It made me so mad that like he had no character development. He was crazy, mad, crazy, mad, hungry for fame. And then, now there's a thing on the bridge, and the dragon's here, and the dragon got away, and now I'm a better person. It was just such a weird character arc for him. I felt like a lot of stuff maybe was left on the cutting room floor for his character. You know what I mean? A little bit of some editing done.
Yeah, so Karl wants to he sort of sees the dragon and wants to sort of, you know, capture it and does capture it. I mean, there's some mild spoils here and stuff, but yeah, it was a little, him and some of the lumberjacks were like very gung-ho, like, all right, we got to go get that. I'm not quite sure if they wanted to put it in a zoo or kill it or eat it or what, but you know, they do have some bad intentions, you know, sort of to get through things. Let's see. Speaking of good intentions in the cast, we had Robert Redford now in his 80s, sort of playing these older gentlemen, kind of father figures, kind of the bookends of the movie with his narration and setting up. How do you like seeing old, you know, Sundance Kid in movies these days? You know, we had him in Captain America, the second Captain America movie not long ago. Now he's in old Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, how can you not like Robert Redford? I mean, he's Robert Redford. There's not much you can say. Like, there's not many bad things you can say about Robert Redford. You know what I mean? He's an American treasure, is what he is. And what I thought was really cool though was that this is his first Disney movie, which I thought was awesome. You know, how old is he? And this is the first flick he did with Disney, so I thought that was pretty rad. And I thought he did great. He you know, he didn't have a lot to do in the beginning of the movie, but by the time that, you know, Elliott gets captured and then they go to rescue him, he turned into the you know, that fun-loving, crazy kind of grandpa character that you want to see in a Disney movie, and you know, teaming up with the kids to cause mischief and save the day. So I thought he was pretty great.
Yeah, I enjoyed having him in the movie. You know, at first I kind of forgot he was in the movie, and then I was like, oh yes, Robert Redford. So it's kind of a treat. I hope he keeps acting until, you know, he loses his marbles, which is what happens when you get older. But yeah, definitely like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my marbles. What do we got in chat here? Toy Movie Game Bros says, yes, he was in Winter Soldier. Angel's in chat as well. The SP789 says holla with a smiley face. So let's just kind of give some more sort of overall impressions of things. You know, is this a movie that you think, Dan, for a young group or older teens or adults? Who's going to enjoy Pete's Dragon?
I think kids and adults. I don't think the teens are going to be big in it. It's going to hit the same audience that the Jungle Book hit, which was another really wonderful adaptation of a animated movie into a live action film that Disney did. But I like how Pete's Dragon didn't try to rehash the same story. They reinvented the story, which I think was kind of great. But I don't think that this is definitely for families. This is for, you know, the kids and the parents or the grandparents. I mean, the movie was full of laughter and some great gags for kids. My daughter's 3, and she just dug it. She loved top to bottom, start to finish. She was engaged and really was enjoying the film. And I think it's kind of these kind of movies lend themselves to that because they star a kid. They star a kid that's very relatable, and then they star, this movie in particular has a giant dragon that's pretty much just a big puppy dog, and kids love that. They love the way that dogs kind of like play around and they emote and they, you know, are all kinds of silly and stuff. So I thought that I think that this is definitely a family flick for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely seems like it's for the young. And I saw it in a crowd with the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. I didn't hear like fidgety or people whispering like, you know, hey, I don't understand. It seemed like everybody was pretty engaged. Some of the big laughs were weird things like bad stuff happening to humans. Got like big laughs and not so much anything with the kids. So that was sort of interesting. I thought, you know, it was like
a lot of the laughs had to do more with everybody but the kids, really. The dragon got some laughs. The cops got some laughs. You know, when they're like, we're in pursuit of a dragon, you know. So there were some really great moments that the adult cast had in that flick, for sure.
Did you think that the movie lacked anything? Was there anything that you're like, oh my gosh, I need more of this, or I need less of that?
An antagonist with proper convictions is what the movie lacked. It lacked a bad guy with any good reason for being a bad guy, you know. I think that he was Karl Urban's character was all driven by first being attacked, and then he wanted fame, and he was greed and fame, and then in the span of in the span of real time in the movie, it took a whopping 15 minutes or so in a car chase for him to be like, oh, I'm a better guy now, and I'm a good person, and I guess that quickly resolved that. That was my major gripe with it. And the other major gripe I had with it is, don't show children in the woods picking wild mushrooms and eating them in a film for children, because monkey see, monkey do, and that immediately was like, I cannot believe that they just showed a kid just grabbing a random mushroom off the floor of the forest and just chomping down on it, because kids are going to wander into the forest now, see a mushroom, chomp down on it, and begin to ride their own imaginary dragons. So it was a concern of mine that they taught kids that was like a thing that they did. But I mean, that's a little bit of a tangent, but seriously, I mean, that's like my dad instincts kicking in, I think.
Oh yeah. No, when I'm seeing any type of movie, I see kids starting fires or robbing things, I sort of throw caution to the wind. But I have to agree. Yeah, usually a hero is only as good in cinema as the villain or the bad guy, and in this case, fine actor, Karl Urban, but just kind of, and maybe need a little more backstory with him. Like maybe he has a flashback where he was bit by a big giant dog when he was a kid, and he's traumatized by large animals.
There wasn't enough character development for him. There wasn't.
Yeah, and he seeks out that revenge. Like, oh well, when I was 10, a Doberman bit me, but now I can capture a dragon or something. That might have been a thing. And we should also mention the gal, Oona, Laurence there. I don't have a photo for her, but fantastic actress. I don't know where
wonderful
she came from, but I was impressed.
She came from Broadway, man. She was fresh off the stage.
People on YouTube don't know what this Broadway word means. Yeah. What does Broadway mean? What's a play?
Yeah. A musical. I saw her a year and a half ago as Matilda on Broadway, I'm pretty sure. Because she was one of the original Matildas that came over for the American run on Broadway, which is closing on September 1st. So if you want to go see Matilda, because it's a masterpiece, you should probably go see it. But and I love that they had her singing in the movie. She sang that dragon song. She was phenomenal in Matilda, and just really pulled it off and was phenomenal in this. She's one of those kid actors that's going to continue to work and continue to become better and better, kind of like Jennifer Connelly. We saw her in Labyrinth, and now she's still working how many years later and just doing really beautiful stuff. So I think that kid will be around for a long time. She's really great.
Yeah, she was great. If they make a Pete's Dragon 2, I'd love to see Elliott and Pete, Elliott, and the gal again back. Let's see, her character's name doesn't have it there on my Google.
Natalie.
Yeah,
yep.
She was great. Cool. So let me give some quick shout outs to some people in chat watching. We got Toy Movie Game Bros. Chloe, of course, has given us the play-by-play from the Summer Olympics. That's always useful in chat. Angel is in chat as well. And Sir X Tommy jumped in there as well. You guys got to make sure you check out Disney Dan's Twitter, YouTube. I'll put links to that in the description below. We just want to do a quick little recap of some of our thoughts. Obviously, Pete's Dragon is out in theaters this weekend. If you guys catch this video on the archive, you'll have to let us know what your thoughts are, coming back after you see it. So, Dan, are we going to tell people to see this? Is that the deal, Dan?
Oh, yeah, I think so for sure. I think that it will. It did what Jungle Book did. I thought that really, in many ways, it'll be a classic family movie, and in that way, it's a masterpiece in and of itself. That it really executed the family kind of family, just all around great family movie. Really, really great family movie. So. And really, I think personified all of what Disney tries to do with movies. You know what I mean? The feel good, just beautiful. Elliott was just such a gorgeously done CGI with a mix of practical effects, and it was just very, very good. Everything about it was great.
Yeah, fun movie. I'm not quite sure I'd go as far as masterpiece, but a good.
In terms of it being a family, in terms of being a family, it's a family masterpiece. It's a masterpiece for a family movie. That's what I'm getting at. Is that it was quite good.
What is the? Give me like off the top of your head, like 3 other family masterpiece movies, so I can get a little frame of what else you throw in that category.
I would say that Mary Poppins is one.
Okay.
I'm also quite fond of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then, in terms of more modern stuff, Inside Out is a masterpiece of family filmmaking. I thought Zootopia was another phenomenal masterpiece of family filmmaking. So these are movies that are going to last the decades, and they're not tied down specifically to a time period or a group of people that they'll continue to be able to be related to. Because this movie was just about family. That's what Pete's Dragon was about. It was just about finding your family, and I thought that it was quite beautiful.
All right, and Toy Movie Game Bros also says Jungle Book is a masterpiece in his opinion, with the hashtag family masterpiece. So you guys also let us know also in the comments if you want to debate on what some of your family masterpieces are. Those are great movies.
What's your like favorite family movie, Rob? Tell me, lay it on me.
My favorite family movie. I don't have a family, so I don't. It's not something I seek out.
But you were once a participant of a family. Like you grew up. You were a kid. So like, what was your like go-to movie when you were a kid? Wow. I was Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and Ghostbusters were my 3 favorite movies as a kid.
Yeah.
Did you not have like a childhood like top 3 movies?
Oh yeah. I like Wizard of Oz. Like the Wizard of Oz is probably like for me like a top family.
Yeah. That's a perfect family masterpiece film. Like just beautiful.
Oh, there you go. All right. If that's perfect, I don't need to name a couple more because I don't know if I can think off the top of my head. So you guys will have to let us know. If you have some suggestions as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So cool. All right, Dan. Well, thanks a bunch for joining me on this CoinOpTV Live. I'll be putting up a Zoom Zoom Collection, Disney Zoom Zoom Collection video tomorrow. Then I should be back again Sunday for another Skylanders history if all goes well. Dan, what's your next video you cooking there?
We're cooking some magic. There's some magic happening because I got some new toys to make some new fancy videos.
Awesome.
Do you have a Pete's Dragon Zoom Zoom?
I don't know if they have those.
Is there not like an old school Elliott, like the one that's like right here? This Elliott.
No, I don't think so. No, Disney's really weird with releasing things to correspond with movies and stuff. Like this month was like Beauty and the Beast. So it was like, well, the timing of that was a little strange.
Yeah, I barely saw any merchandise out there for Pete's Dragon. It's not a merch heavy movie, which I thought was interesting. I don't even think I've seen like a Pete's Dragon like doll or anything. It was interesting.
Steve in chat says he loves the classics and says his granddaughter always wants to watch Spy Kids movies. Are Spy Kids movies for the family friendly?
Yeah, Spy Kids are definitely family friendly. And then when you grow up, you let your kids watch Machete because that all takes place in the same world. I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's a little Easter egg for you. Because Danny Trejo plays the same character in both of those films, so which I thought was pretty great.
That's hilarious.
I can't wait for yours. Are they called sums? Or are they sums? What is a single? Is it a sum or is it called a sum?
I think you just it's a great debate. Usually you just say with 2 words there, zoom zoom. I have a lot of zoom zoom. This is my favorite zoom zoom. I never say just one there.
Not like, can you hand me that zoom?
Yeah, that would mean that you want to drive fast or something. I don't know what that would mean.
I'm so like in the dark about the Zoom Zoom tech, like family. I know that there are Muppet ones coming soon, Rob, and if you find those, double down because I know you're like the Zoom Zoom hunter. So if you find when the Muppet ones finally come out, I'm going to trust you to get me the Muppet ones, and I'll send you an envelope full of money to get them for me. But I saw some of the Muppet ones and they look pretty great, but otherwise, I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah. No, you'll probably be able to pick those up. They don't sell out as fast as they used to. They used to be, they'd sell out really quick. Now you can probably get your hands on some Zoom Zooms at the Disney store.
Yeah, the Disney and Target, right? And Walmart, right?
Well, yeah, but they get them like after, like they get like the reprints. So you want to go to the Disney store get those.
You want original prints of Zoom Zooms.
Yes, yes.
Do not get reprints of Zoom Zooms.
Well,
and are you also a fan of the hard plastic ones or only the plush ones?
I'm looking around. I have some of the vinyl ones to also. Yeah, I like the vinyl ones also. Yes, if you're fans of Disney Zoom Zooms, I got a lot of videos at Comic-Con tomorrow. Yeah, Comic-Con, I did a video, and then tomorrow I'll have my whole collection, over 100. So you check that out.
Do you have all of them?
No. There's there's like over 1,000. So I don't.
Are there really? I thought Jason from Jason Inquires has like all of them, doesn't he? Or maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, see, there's the imports also. So I don't know when you say all of them. Jason has a pretty large collection. There's a lot. So they come out now like twice a month, and Do you
get the subscription box?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Enough about Zooms or Zoom Zooms or Zoom Zooms or Zooms. I don't.
Listen, if you're gonna call yourself Disney Dan, you should go in a store.
I just can't get into them, man. I know about them. I just can't get into them.
Well, you gotta just
not for me.
Get part of the flow. Just go in and talk to one of the cast.
I like those itty bitties. You ever seen like the itty bitties?
Oh, you're talking about like the competition now, the Hallmark itty bitties. Yes,
I love itty bitties, man. I think itty bitties are adorable. But,
yeah, those are fun too. If you can get them to stand up, they're clever. Yeah.
If you can get them to stand up, Rob, that's a beautiful statement because you can't ever get them to stand up.
Right.
I have a fear itty bitty from Inside Out, and it will not stand up, Rob. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, no, that's my problem as well. For the extra $3 you pay, you can't get them to stand up. So, cool.
You got to get those on clearance, Rob. You don't ever pay full price for itty bitties.
I see Juice the Gamer's in chat saying hi about 4 times. He wants us to notice him. So we're just wrapping up Juice the Gamer. You're a little late, but you can watch this full episode on the archive.
The replay.
And you can check out some of Dan's stuff as well. Let me wrap things up. Thanks a bunch, all you CoinOpTV subscribers and new faces for watching. Thanks a bunch to Dan as well. Go see Pete's Dragon. Let us know in the comments below what you think for CoinOpTV. We'll see you guys in the next video. Laters.
Bye, guys.